your first step is to take, you can use paper, pattern paper, cardstock, whatever you like. If you're going to use paper, you're just going to want to make sure the entire surface is adhered down, because then when you cut, you don't have to worry about where exactly those lines are. I'm working with various washi tapes because I thought that would be a fun look. I thought that would be a lot of fun to use up all these tapes, and that is why I'm working on white cardstock, to ensure that everything goes smoothly and that everything will show through clean instead of showing the background color through. And you're just going to repeat this step with as many tapes or whatever it is that you're working with until the area is completely full, or as full as you need it to be. To start off with, I just have various washi tapes. You could use pattern paper or cardstock or other material. If you're using a material that requires adhesive, what you are going to want to do is you are going to want to make sure and cover the entire surface, because when you go to cut, you don't want to have the cutting line be on a spot where there's no adhesive. That will make your life a little trickier. So repeat this step. I'm using washi tapes. Just repeat this step with however many colors and patterns as you wish for as large of a surface as you want to work on. Now I have got my paper loaded here on my ScanNCut DX. I'm going to go to the pattern. I already know what I want. I just want a simple heart. You can get more complex, of course, lots and lots of shapes to choose from. I already know though that I want a nice simple heart because I want this to be the centerpiece of my card. And I think just a little smaller 3.85 will work. And I need 4 of them. Okay, now what I need to do is press this button right here. And the reason is that's going to scan my material so I can see where everything is being placed, and it works very quickly. Now that I see my material, I can see where I would like to have these hearts. And I can also see that, I can also see things like, well, I would like to actually add a few more. So to do that, I would go into Edit, Object, Edit, and then this button right here. I think I want to add a couple more so that I get just the maximum amount of fun on our cards here. And I could turn them upside down to fit even more in. However, I actually don't want to do that, because not that you can't, it's just that, and actually I have too many. Okay, so if you get too many, you can say okay here and then just go like so, and that will throw them away. So it looks like my perfect number here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. And I'm just gonna kind of move them around until I'm happy with what I see pattern-wise. What do I see, and do I like it? And once I do, and by the way, another thing you can do here, if you go to Object Edit, and sometimes this works really well, this button right here, what this will do is we can tilt. So, and as many or as few degrees as you want. So if you want to have some of them be at a little more of an angle, absolutely you can. I think this is really super fun because what it'll do is give you just a little different look, so it's not quite so straight up and down, if that's what you would prefer. Once you are satisfied, you're going to click OK all the way through until you get to cut. And the half cut is off. That is correct. Half cut, you only want that turned on, which you can do here if you're doing vinyl, and actually we'll do vinyl in a moment and I'll show you, or something where you want it to cut the top part but not all the way through, and start. Next up, I'm going to create my own sticker vinyl. So I've got my sheet of vinyl. When you're working with sticker vinyl, you want it to be the color side or the vinyl side up. Usually with the iron-ons, you want it the opposite because you only want to cut through the vinyl material. Well, with sticker vinyl, it's the sticky side is against the transfer sheet versus the other way around. So anyhow, we're going to go in here into pattern. And actually, before I go there, I'm just going to double check. I always like to double check in case there's word art here. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. That button lets me go all the way to the bottom and then come back up. There is thank you, thanks, but they're a little more styled than I want. So I'm going to go back and go into here. I just always like to double check that because sometimes there's one that I want. And I'm going to type thanks and say okay. Now at this point, I always just say okay. And then now notice how this is still here. That's because I have not rescanned the mat, and I don't need to for this. I have a full sheet of vinyl. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm looking at the height. I actually don't want the height to be so big. I want it to be, let's say about 4.5 inches. And I'm going to say, okay. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to want 4 of them. And I'm just going to align them one after another on this one area of vinyl. There we go. Okay, now all we have to do is when we get to cut, I mentioned before the half cut, and this is where we click right here and turn the half cut on for this operation. And then once we're all set and everything looks good, we're just going to go ahead and cut. Once everything is cut out, you can see here the blue is the backing sheet. So because I did the half cut, our vinyl stickers are cut, but the backing sheet is not. Then all you have to do is weed. And what that means is remove all the vinyl piece that you do not want to use. And that's why I cut this into a smaller piece instead of using the full sheet, because that full 12 by 12 sheet, I can keep making vinyl stickers. So now all that's left, guys, is we're going to get to work on assembling this, and that's really the fun part. So I've got a little 4 1/4 by 5.5 card here, or so, and then what I'm going to do is place my heart, and then you can use transfer material. However, when I'm going to work on a card, sometimes I find it's actually easier with this to just do it by hand. So I'm just going to decide where I want my letter stickers, and I start at the end of the word when I know where I want the end to finish. And then this I can just repeat for all of the thank you cards that I need to make. And it's going to be a similar design, but each one will be unique. Each one might have a different, if my sticker's being a little stubborn there we go. Each one's going to be a little bit unique. Each one's going to have a little bit of a different look, and I just love that. So if there's any other final touches you want to add here, these are all hand delivered. So if I want to add buttons, if I want to add beads or sequins, if I want to spend a lot of time decorating it, I certainly can at this point. And if I don't, well, guess what? I have got a handmade card ready to go. And again, you can outline with pen. You can do all kinds of different things to make parts stand out or look however you would like them to look. I just love the results of this. And now I'm just kind of using my fingernail to make sure that that's really nice and down there. I love it. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.